Hello, everybody, and welcome back to 50 Shades of Tay. I'm Taylor Gonzalez, and my guest today plays Dorothy in Wicked for Good. I am so excited to be joined by Bethany Weaver. Bethany, how are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you, Taylor. How are you?
Oh, so good. It is so nice to meet you. You know, it's crazy. It is 10 o'clock at night where I am in Los Angeles, and
Oh
I
God,
believe it's 10 a.m. where you are in Dubai right now,
yes,
right? Oh
yes,
my,
it's 10 a.m. It's like really bright and sunny. Oh gosh, hopefully I won't keep you up too late.
no, it's okay. I just had some coffee, so we're good. We're good.
Okay, good. I have my matcha, so everything's fine.
Oh, nice, nice. First of all, are you allowed to talk about what you're doing in Dubai right now?
Yes, absolutely. So I'm just here visiting my partner for one, because he lives here. And then I've been teaching some Charlie and the Chocolate Factory workshops all over Dubai. I was assistant choreographer on the Monaco run that we did in December. So I'm here teaching all things Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It's a complete new version of the musical, so it's been really exciting to share that with other people. So yeah, that's why I'm in the lovely 25 degrees instead of rainy, cold London. It's wonderful.
Oh, well, that is so fun. And you know what else is so fun? Wicked for Good. I love the movie so much, and you
Oh,
are
I'm so
so good as Dorothy. It was so exciting to see you in the film. Uh,
thank
I was wondering, what was the audition process like to get this role?
Well, it was quite wild and last minute, actually. It was all done through my agent. So the night before, she phoned me and said, "Oh, can you go in for this audition?" Just in the morning, I was like, "Yeah, sure, I have the morning off." She was like, "What's it for?" She was like, "Oh, Dorothy and the new Wicked movies." I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's." I was like, no way am I going to get that, but I'm just going to go and see how things go. As kind of like the natural nature of an actor, you don't really emotionally attach yourself to things just to avoid disappointment. So I ended up driving to the studio, and a podcast I spoke on last week, I actually parked on someone's driveway. Because I couldn't find any parking, and it's such a British thing, just being like, "Oh, can I just park here? Is that okay?" And this man was like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." I was like, "Oh, like I'll let you know if I get the role," just joking. And then I did, which was nice. So I went into the waiting area. My name wasn't on the list. So I was like, "Oh God, am I in the right place?" And then I kind of went into this room, and there's lots of other girls dressed in like the full classic braid and a skirt and some nice heels. And I just kind of went in with my hair down and a blue jumper because I thought, blue, Dorothy. And I had my Laduca dance heels on, which I use when I'm performing or choreographing musicals. So I kind of, and they were all rehearsing something, and I hadn't been sent anything. So I thought, oh no. So I asked the girls, I was like, oh, was I supposed to prepare something? And they said, oh, did you not get the brief? And I was like, no, I didn't. I had 2 minutes before I was about to go in. So, I mean, one thing I really love about British performers is, in that audition environment, people generally are really nice and they want to help you and they want to be kind. So bless, this one girl took like her hair out of her braids because she'd just been in and gave me her hair bobbles. I did like the most botched like not even plaits, just like these pigtails. And another girl called Abby, who I still follow on Instagram, and I believe she was a dancer in the movie.
Oh,
She kind of walked me through what I had to do. So I had to kind of just some music played, and I had it was if I was coming into like Elphaba's lair and she's there, and then I throw the water over her. And I literally got like one go at it, and then the casting director called me in, and I was like, well, it's now or never. So I think because I didn't have any time to prepare, I think that's why I did my best, and I kind of was just aggressively myself. And I
mm.
think, I walked into the room and I was chatting with the casting director and the team for ages, and I'm not sure if they were looking for mannerisms. And for me, in normal situations, I will just talk about the the weirdest things. So I remember they had like a really nice rug in the studio, and I was like, "Where's that from?" And saying, "Oh, that would look really nice in my Pilates studio. Can I just look at the label?" Oh, silly me. So I then had to get up and do a shot where there was a gauze in the way, as it is in the musical, where you see the silhouette of Dorothy. Um, and I had to throw some water and then pick up a broom and be really excited. And yeah, so I must have done what their kind of vision was of Dorothy. I must have just been the right fit and the right pair of eyes. And, I wasn't pretending, I wasn't trying to be anybody else. I just was myself. So it's the nicest thing knowing that I got the role for being me. And I think as an actor, it's probably the most like fulfilling feeling ever. I know Dorothy is a very small part within the Wicked story because, of course, it's about Elphaba and Glinda's relationship and how they navigate all of the issues that appear in Oz, Dorothy being one of them. So it was lovely to know that I was chosen for the role just for being me. So
Mm.
that, yeah, it was a wild audition process. And then, the next week I was in for uh, hair and makeup and costume fittings. I had my feet 4D scanned for the silver slippers. So it was, like a lovely life of a actor and business owner. One week is different to the next. So
That is
yeah, what a
crazy.
process. Yeah, it was so crazy actually. Sometimes I do think I'm like, my God, as if all of that happened and I'm in this amazing movie as a really iconic character. So yeah,
Oh, that is
wild
so
pro
cool.
yeah.
I think it's so sweet too that the other girls were there to help you out and had your back, and that's
Yeah,
so nice to hear because I feel like it's not always the case. So just to
correct.
hear something like that is very sweet and very nice. And I agree with what you said about how maybe not having all the time in the world to prepare maybe did help you because then you
Yeah,
didn't overthink it. You didn't get like caught up on any of the details. You didn't, you know what I mean? You didn't have to stress out
yes,
as much about like memorizing something because you went in and like you said, they picked you for you, which is incredible.
yeah. And sometimes just acting in the moment is really, you surprise yourself as an actress and as a person, actually. You will do things that you maybe wouldn't have done if you'd had like so much rehearsal. I
Mhm.
sometimes feel, I'm a culprit of this. If I'm given a script and I've got a self-tape to do, I try not to over rehearse it. And now I get in front of the camera and I'm able to kind of be a bit more playful and just trust myself and trust my instincts. I think actually that circumstance of auditioning for Wicked really taught me a lot about going into the room as an actress now, and I feel like I view it completely differently and actually in a more relaxed fashion. So yeah, the audition alone was a learning process, and then I got to be on the set and I got to work with these incredible actors and John M. Chu. I got to witness all of the hard work of everyone down to the electricians on
Mhm.
set to the runners to the dog trainers for Oscar who plays Toto. So
Oh,
it was a real like incredible moment to not quite be a fly on the wall but
mhm.
just be tiny little me watching this huge set come to life with so many pairs of hands making that happen. So yeah, what a wonderful experience.
Yeah, I am obsessed with how they brought the world to life. And I've watched every single like behind the scenes video and even like the architecture digest about how they, planted the flowers and built all the stages. What
Yeah.
was it like getting to be there in person? And because it's one thing to see it on the screen, but for you to be there and get to see the yellow brick road and get to see, these gorgeous sets, what was it like?
Yes, I mean, when I first walked onto the actual huge yellow brick road and essentially Munchkin Land, I mean it's outside for one in the UK, so well done to everybody who built that and survived the UK weather. So it was just surreal. Like you really were allowed to immerse yourself in the scene because everything around you was real. And this is my first experience acting in a movie and it's my entrance into film, so I was really lucky that I had a real yellow brick road to walk on. I had the Munchkin houses around me. I actually got to see the destruction that my house had caused. And, not a detail was missed, even from like the broken fragments of like the wood on the house. I'm actually reading a really wonderful book called Before Dorothy at the moment. The wonderful author Hazel Gaynor gifted me the novel. And, you know, seeing that almost picturesque vibe of Dorothy's house that essentially isn't hers, it belongs to Uncle Henry and Auntie Em. When I'm reading the book, I'm so lucky that I've got to see that in real life, and all of the shading on the wood, the like the gingham blue curtains. I mean, I also love that the first piece of blue gingham isn't my dress. It's not the first thing you see. It's actually the curtain waving in the wind. A
Oh,
really,
yeah.
really beautiful shot.
Hmm.
And, it's almost like a little indication of, okay, Dorothy's arrived now.
Hmm.
Chaos will grow. So it was really special to be able to be standing on that set with all of the world around you and actually have like the air, real air outside, real sunlight.
Yeah.
Um, I remember when I was shooting the shot for when you first see Dorothy in Wicked for Good, you see my shoes and you see Oscar's paws, and
Mhm.
then you see us walk off down the yellow brick road with the Munchkins. And I remember them setting up the camera, and real sunlight is reflecting off of my shoes, and like air is blowing on Oscar's fur. So it was so special to have kind of all of the not only elements come to life around you, but the set just almost like hold you in the world of Oz. It was so magical, and I can imagine other movie sets maybe aren't like that, especially when you're in a heavily CGI'd
Mhm.
film, because maybe it's set in a different universe and you've just got the blue screen around you and you kind of are like, I don't really know where I am. So I was so lucky. I was like, I'm in Oz, I've arrived, I'm in Act Two because I'm a musical fan and performer myself. And this is, Elphaba's first moment seeing Dorothy from a distance,
Mhm.
and also got her sister's shoes on, which I've just flattened with my house and just been like, oh, sorry, bye.
Oh
So
my
yeah,
gosh.
it was really, really magical. Munchkinland, I think, was one of my favorite sets that
Oh,
I
that is
was
so
on.
cool.
Yeah, I mean, a dream come true. Hey, I've like stepped out of my house and I'm on the yellow brick road and getting to live it, breathe it, dream it,
Mhm.
manifest it. It's come to life.
Oh. So you mentioned that you're a musical fan like me. What
Yeah.
was your relationship like with Wicked before you got this role? Did you grow up watching it? Had you seen it before a few times? What was it like before you got this role?
Yes, I mean I grew up watching The Wizard of Oz. I think most people my age, so I'm 30, and even people in my mum and dad's generation, my grandparents' generation, I remember going to visit my grandparents, and we'd be sat in our pajamas and a little cup of tea and watching The Wizard of Oz. And my favorite moment in The Wizard of Oz is when you see Dorothy in almost like the tea-stained um shot,
Hmm.
and then she opens the door and she goes out into
Yeah.
this beautiful, bright, colorful world. And as a 5-year-old, it's so cool watching that transition. And I know that it also was a really big moment for the film industry in the 1930s and 40s, because it was the first like introduction of color,
Mhm.
which is why I think it adds extra weight to the ruby slippers. So I grew up watching The Wizard of Oz, so I have loved Dorothy for as long as I can
Oh.
remember. And actually getting this role, it reminds me and reminded me how much the world loves Dorothy.
Hmm.
It's not me they love, it's Dorothy and what she represents. And you know, I've had so many wonderful messages for fans who have
Mhm.
said, I'm a friend of Dorothy and I'm
Oh.
so happy to see Dorothy on screen again. It brings me such hope and such joy. And, I think we can all agree the world is a bit of a topsy-turvy place at the moment. And I feel Wicked brings a lot of light and joy and it breeds kindness. I think I've been so lucky. I adore the Wicked fans. I love them with my whole heart. They are just the kindest people. And, this is my also introduction into the public eye slightly. So I was really nervous because I've not had any experience. And it's kind of me and my agent holding down the fort for both of us. And we have been so lucky with the response and fan mail and kind words and comments have just been so lucky. So it also just reminds me that Wicked itself brings so much joy. I know there's a lot of hardship in the story and the narrative, both on the stage and also on the screen as well. I think I first saw Wicked. I was in my first year at my second drama school, and I went to go and see it, and I just was blown away. I think defying gravity. I was sat
Oh
right in the
gosh.
stalls, and like Elphaba obviously flies up, and her cape
Mhm.
spreads out, and oh my goodness. I think I saw Alice Fern, who is one of the greatest Elphabas of all time. She's a real British theatre treasure, and she actually plays Glinda's mum in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So when I
Oh, so
saw
cool.
I was in the hair and makeup trailer and I saw her picture. So I was like, oh my goodness. Me like fangirling over Alice Byrne. I didn't get to
Oh.
see her on set, but my goodness, she is, I mean, all of the Elphabas in both on Broadway, on the tours. It's here in Dubai actually at
Oh,
the
wow.
moment, here for 3 weeks, which feels really special. I've had
Mhm.
all lovely interviews and Wicked is playing in the same country as me. So yeah,
So
I've loved
cool.
it. Yeah, it's a beautiful show actually, and I'm so glad that it's been successfully brought to life through the lens of film
Mhm.
and it's been taken care of by the wonderful John M. Chu
Yeah.
and everyone involved. Very, very lucky.
No, I completely agree. I couldn't have said it better. How did your family and friends react when you got the role of Dorothy, and who did you tell first?
Oh, I told my mum first, of
Oh.
course. I didn't tell that many people. I didn't tell my wider family. It was really I took that NDA very seriously.
Yes.
Yes. So I remember I got a phone call from my agent, sobbing, crying because I was so happy, and had to then I think call her back later so that I could actually listen to what she said because I just was like, oh my gosh, so overwhelmed with happiness. Um, and then I phoned my mum straight after, and I think she was at a garden centre because I was crying. I think she thought something was really wrong. So she's like, mother instinct kicked in. She was like, what's wrong? What's happened? Who do I need to kill? So I was like, no, no. I was like, Mum, I got Dorothy in the Wicked movie. And I think my mum was just stunned. So then when I went home to tell her, I got to tell my dad as well. And,
Oh.
my parents are in the UK when, your parents aren't performers or they're not in the creative world, they're called muggles. Um, and when we're not performing, we have muggle jobs. So
Mhm.
for me, I run a fitness company and
Oh.
I teach Pilates and bar and I teach workshops and I do musical theatre coaching and like wedding dance choreography.
Oh.
So, I'm really lucky that that's my muggle job because it almost reflects moments of my creative part of my career. But my mum and dad are really normal. So I think it took my dad a while. I think he thought I was just like standing in for Dorothy. I was like,
Uh.
no, Dad, I am Dorothy. And he was like, oh. And it's so lovely now that it's kind of public knowledge. Like my
Mhm.
mum and dad are just really proud to tell their friends and their
Oh.
work colleagues. And my dad actually, so he works for an American company and he surprised me, and one of his colleagues had been able to get the Barbie doll over to the
Oh,
UK. It's not available in the UK
oh
yet.
wow.
Yeah. So my dad had arranged for his work colleague to bring over the Barbie doll so that he could give it to me. So,
Oh,
oh, it was just so lovely.
that is
So,
so
like,
sweet.
yeah, my parents are really proud, and I think I could speak for most performers. It's a really it's a wonderful career, but there's moments where you think, my gosh, like am I going to be able to do this again? Like, am I going to
Mm,
have to work in this bar for another like 9 months? Like, oh, I don't want to do this, but you're trying to balance lots of plates at once. So to get this role and to tell my parents and
mm,
say, look, I've done it, and then be really proud, and for me to be like, see, all the dance lessons were worth it, all of
mhm,
the drives to auditions, all of the sitting in the waiting room while I went into a casting, it's all been worth it. And so my mum and dad were the first people that I told, and
oh.
I hope they're really proud of me for doing this wonderful role.
Oh, that is incredible. I
Yeah.
am so happy that you were able to get one of the Barbies. There's so much merch for Wicked from, like the Funkos back here. You mentioned the Barbies. I was at Target the other day and there was like a Swiffer that was green and a Swiffer that was pink. There's laundry detergent. There's like so much stuff
I
that is
know.
Wicked themed.
There's a squash, and do you know what? I really actually want one. There's this toy called a Squishmallow.
Oh, yeah.
Squishmallow Dorothy. It's really funny because they look like a potato, but I love it. Oh my goodness. One of my young girls that I coach for musical theatre, she was like, Beth, do you know you're a squishmallow? I was like, what's that? So she showed me a picture, and I was like, oh, I look like this really cute potato. And so if anyone wants to send me a squishmallow, I will happily receive it. But yeah, I'm even in like vending machine. What are those things called where the crane?
Like a claw machine.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
gosh.
there's a Dorothy toy that looks maybe slightly like a potato as well, but it just still is really cute. So, I am so pleased that the merch has been able to kind of spread for everyone, really. But
Yeah,
yeah, I
that is
think
so cool.
my next one, I really want a squishmallow. I
Okay,
really,
someone
yeah.
out there has to make this happen. I feel like they sell them everywhere. They have to. Those things are huge. So hopefully you
Yeah.
can get your hands on one because they're
I yeah,
adorable.
I haven't seen one yet, but I really
Okay.
want a Dorothy Squishmallow. And my mum bought me for Christmas like a little Lego
Oh,
Dorothy with her little dress. And then Universal also kindly gifted me the Barbie doll, and I've got like a figurine collection of Dorothy and the Scarecrow, Tin Man, Glinda, and the Lion. Yeah, and
oh,
it's
so
yeah,
cool.
oh, it's just so lovely. And I must say, the fan base are very talented artists. I've been tagged in lots of wonderful Instagram posts with like Dorothy drawings. My goodness, there's so much talent out there.
Oh, that is
Wonderful.
awesome.
Yeah. But
Oh,
yeah, I know the merch is crazy. Hey.
I know. I can't believe it. Every time I go to a store, I see something. You know what? My favorite thing that I got, I think it was when the first film came out. They did a collaboration with Starbucks and they had gift
Yeah,
cards. There was a golden gift card. I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to Starbucks and I got one. And
I
it's
love
like on my
that.
bookshelf. I love it so much.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, I mean, it just shows how wonderfully infectious
Yeah.
Wicked is. It really is incredible. And yeah, laundry detergent.
Isn't
I
that
miss
crazy?
that.
It,
Yeah.
there's so
On the
much stuff.
I know. The squash was crazy. It was like green with like glitter in. I was like, wow, I wonder what's in that.
That
But
is
yeah,
hilarious.
I know. But yeah, a squishmallow is my next target for Dorothy merch. Wonderful.
Oh my gosh. Well, if the role of Dorothy was taken and they offered you to choose a different role, who would you want to play in Wicked other than Dorothy?
Oh, that's a really good question. Do you know, would love, I would love to play Glinda. I would love to. Um, I think especially in part two, Glinda has her emotional arc towards the end of part two.
Mhm.
You know, in the world of theatre, it's a wonderful place because it's live, it's right in front of your eyes, but you're kind of capped to a time frame. So Act Two is only 45 minutes, whereas in the movie they had a bit more time to play with. So, the emotional arc of Glinda towards the end of part two was really, really powerful. I feel you feel that she almost like gains this incredible strength finally, and she kind of takes a leaf out of Elphaba's book,
Mhm.
and she is just herself in abundance. And I love when she goes into Madame Morrible's office and she's like, look outside, and
Yeah.
she's like swept off, and she kind of like regurgitates a line that Madame Morrible has said to her in such
Hmm.
malice, and she gets to kind of reclaim that power and be like bye. So, and the music is so beautifully written. I love the new songs that were added into
Yeah.
part two. Really beautiful. It gave Elphaba and Glinda like much more emotional depth, I think. And they're very deep characters,
Yeah.
and I don't blame Ariana and Cynthia for really using that experience, whether it was intentional or not, to reflect really deeply in themselves, because I think Wicked really holds a mirror up to you, whoever you are,
Mm.
and it allows you to kind of look a bit deeper into yourself, which can be a bit frightening sometimes. Hey, I think Glinda really shows that looking into yourself sometimes is a little bit daunting and a little bit scary, but you're a better person for it if you actually recognize who that person is right on the inside, the depth of yourself. So I'd love the opportunity to explore Glinda. And even in part one, in complete contrast, in Popular, she's got this wonderful, carefree, playful, fashionable, quirky, hilarious character. And Elphaba's just kind of sat there like, oh, what's happening? Like, who is this wonderful, like, animated person in front of me?
Mhm.
So I love Glinda's kind of giddy little mannerisms and everything. So I think, although all the characters are amazing and they've got their own kind of flavors that you see progress throughout the film, I would love the opportunity to play Glinda, because
Oh.
there's so much to play with. Hey,
Mhm.
and it makes you view, when you go and watch the musical, it makes you view Glinda in a very different light.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I agree. Ah.
yeah, so I'm hoping that the ticket sales for Wicked in Town has rocketed back up.
Hmm.
I went to go and see it again actually a couple of months ago. My best friend actually plays Nessa Rose in the West End at the moment, which is slightly funny because she plays Nessa Rose, and obviously I'm Dorothy in the film, and I flatten her and then take her shoes. So when she told me that she was joining the Wicked family and she was Nessa Rose, obviously I was overjoyed. I was like, oh my gosh, this is quite funny actually,
Yeah.
because like essentially I kill you. And she was like, oh yeah. I was like, oops, sorry. So and she's a wonderful performer. I always get really emotional when I go and watch
Oh.
her. But I got to go and see it again after, maybe like, oh, when was it? Was like 2015. Yeah, over
Oh,
10
wow.
years. Yeah, so going to watch it.
Mm.
Um, and obviously I was watching Hannah, she was amazing. But actually getting to watch the musical after watching the film, and lots of people, because the part two hadn't come out yet, quite
Mm.
a few people left in the interval because they didn't want to spoil part two.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's dedication. Well done. Whereas I would have just sat and watched it. So yeah, I was just like, wow, that's real dedication to like wanting to experience Wicked both in the cinema and
Yeah.
on the stage. But yeah, it makes you view the musical now in a different light. And I
Hmm.
think I think that's another like really intricate joy that John M. Chu has kind of created out of the wonderful storytelling that he's portrayed in the film as everyone involved. Yeah, so Glinda would be a nice role to have a go at, I think.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that at all, that people will have seen the play between parts one and two releasing and then leave at the intermission to
Yeah.
not be spoiled.
Yeah.
I, it makes sense though. If I had
Yeah.
not seen Wicked, the stage production, before I saw part two of Wicked, the film, I might have, I don't know. That's a tough one. If I don't know what I would have done because I wouldn't have wanted to have left the play, but I also would have been like, no, I have to see it,
Yeah.
on
You'd have to
screen with the characters that we just got from the year before. Yeah, that's a crazy tough predicament, but oh
Yeah.
wow.
I know. I was like, that is dedication. Oh my goodness. I mean, I don't know. I would have maybe waited to watch the film and then go and watch the play. But anyway,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
applaud people who left in the interval. I was like, that is strength. Well done.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Well, Bethany, I can't thank you enough for taking time out of your day to join me to talk all things Wicked. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
If people want to follow you and keep up with all the other upcoming projects that you have, where's a good place for people to come and follow you?
My Instagram is probably the golden ticket of all information, Dorothy and Bethany. So yes, it's just Bethany Weaves with a little X. And yeah, or you can just type in Dorothy in Wicked for good, and I'm sure I will pop right up. But yes, I mean, I haven't got anything planned at the moment, but I have just emerged from the shadows. So let's see what the light brings. Hey.
Yes, I can't wait to see what you do next. And it
Thank
was
you
so
so much.
nice to meet you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much, Taylor, and
Thank
you.
you.
Have a lovely day. Thank you for having me.
Bye.